Hey guys, welcome back to Many Tribes, One Kingdom. It's your good friend Dustin here. And this video today, we'll be talking about my experience at Territorial Youth Institute. Stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. So today I want to talk to you about an experience that I had. It was a week-long experience. It was words can't really explain. I'm going to do my best to explain what happened. However, I don't think I'm going to do a good enough job about it. But here we go. At Territorial Youth Institute, or TYI for short, it is a collection of believers ages between 18 to 25 and some staffers that are outside that age range who come together at one of our camps in which we are being set apart from the world for a brief moment of time to allow us to be regenerated, so to speak, or be rejuvenated. Sort of like a vacation, but different. Yes, did we relax over the course of that week? Yes, we did. But it was so much more. As the Salvation Army is a church, we had services throughout the whole week, which is called Morning Manna. And during Morning Manna, the Holy Spirit was more than present. The Holy Spirit, every time we went into worship, the Holy Spirit was always present. He came in and dwelt within us, and he moved within so many people who came to know him deeper, whose lives were changed throughout the whole week, and it changed that I could see was going to be a lasting one, or people who have already known and come to believe in Jesus Christ and has been redeemed and received the Holy Spirit. They were in themselves, you can see a fire being reignited or being stoked again, so that when they go back home, they are going to continue with the work that they have, or the work that God has for us, but just with more motivation and with just more surety of what God is calling them to do. Other parts of the week, other elements that we had were classes that were to teach us how to connect closer to God with our gifts or talents, such as maybe visual arts, videography, sports ministries, and so on and so forth. This past week, that week, I was in visual arts, where I got to really explore the more artistic side of myself, and throughout it all, the teacher, he kept expressing to us the need for us to connect to God, and that we can often use art to do that, the way we see the world around us, how we see God moving through the world around us. And it was so wonderful to just finally just feel free to do what God has called me to do, or to paint what God has been showing me, the visions I've been having. And again, it was just wonderful, because there's no other word that really would fit it. I had the opportunity to create a mask of my old self and my new self, or my reborn self. And just seeing that, I had to hold myself, or just hold it together for a moment, because I almost started crying just thinking about how far God brought me from. And in art, when you do something like that, you're drawing from your old self to your new self, you're gonna be emotional, because you're gonna realize how far God really did bring you. And you can express that in music as well, and other things. I just expressed it through art. We had a wonderful speaker. His name was Jeff Wallace. He is, unfortunately, I can't remember his title. I know he works for a university. But he came and he was our speaker. He was just very present, leading with the Holy Spirit. And there was a couple of times where his sermons were cut short because of the work of the Holy Spirit in the room. And he said, you know what, let the Spirit move. Ultimately, me and what I'm going to do and what the worship team is doing, we're doing the same thing. We're inviting the Holy Spirit to make a change. And he was just so willing to allow the Holy Spirit to do the change, to do the work. It was just so wonderful. He gave us a lot of good information on God, a lot of stuff that we can really apply to our lives. How we can serve God better, how we can be more motivated to do his will, and that if we're deficient in some areas, how we can better those areas of our lives. And I think the most unique part about this TYI is that they took a book or a page out of Harry Potter. They divided us into 4 different houses. The soul house, strength house, the heart house, and the mind house. And of course, this is in Mark chapter 9, verses 28 to 34, where it says, serve the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And love your neighbor as yourself, talking about the 2 greatest commandments. So I loved how they focused on that this week, and they used that to help, the 4 houses to help really make that verse mean so much more. Because we had to earn points to doing things around the camp to really to earn stuff so we can eventually win a prize. It wasn't one team that won. The strength team did end up winning. Unfortunately, I wasn't a part of the strength team. I was part of the soul team, but I was still glad to be a part of that. And through this whole week, for me personally, it was really one where the Holy Spirit showed me where I was very deficient in certain areas, like reading my Bible, praying to him daily, and going to him with my problems, but also going to him with my successes and going to him with my praises while in prayer. And I think that was one thing that was the one thing that I really did have a problem with or have a deficiency in, was expressing my praises to him and my thanks to him during my prayer time, not just during when I pray, not just during my praise and worship time, but during my prayer time, just expressing my thanks all hours of the day in prayer towards him. And I'm very thankful for this whole week. This is really a minor point. I did end up winning the highest award for the camp, and it was nothing really meaning much to me. It really just proved to me how far I've gotten, how God has brought me so far from where I used to be. It was just, that whole week was just a wonderful experience. And if you get the opportunity to go to TYI or to go to a conference similar to this, where you will experience spiritual growth outside of the world, do it. You're going to need it. Thank you guys so much for listening to me throughout this whole video. If you have any questions or comments or concerns about this video today, I ask that you leave them in the comment section down below. Have a great day, and God bless you.